If I tell you I can work on something, I will work on it. And if something cannot happen immediately, I will tell you. And if I do not know the answer, I will find out. That is the relationship I want with the people of the Roseau North constituency and the Gutter village. But while we talk about national development, we cannot forget about the things that are right here in Gutter that affect your daily lives. We need to improve the footpaths and access routes through this village, and we have already started collaborating with the Gutter Improvement Committee. We have to examine the steps and handrails so that our elderly residents and children can move more safely throughout the community. We have to address drainage and runoff, including the concerns residents have raised regarding water coming from the hospital area. We have to work with solid waste management and as well the Roseau City Council to improve waste collection sanitation within the community. We have to strengthen the community facility and make it a place where our children can learn, our young people can participate in programs, and residents can receive training that the community can gather. And we have to continue addressing housing within this constituency. And that is why tonight I am asking you to support me, and I'm asking you to support the Dominica Labour Party. Because representation does not happen in isolation. I want to sit at the table with the government and say, these are the priorities of Gutter Village. I want to be able to call the relevant minister for housing, or for public works, or for health. I want to work with the relevant agencies within each community and strengthen our improvement committees. I want to follow the projects. I want to advocate for resources. And when something is moving too slowly, I want to be the person that is asking, what is happening with what I asked you for Gutter? That is the representation I am offering you. Not somebody you will see only when elections is coming. Not somebody who believes representation is simply attending parliament, but somebody who is present within the community, somebody who understands your concerns and can carry those concerns directly into government. So when election day comes, I want you to think beyond the movement. Don't simply ask what somebody can give you today. Ask, who can help you create the opportunities for your family tomorrow? And who has the competence to represent this constituency? And who will show up? And who will listen? And who can sit at the table, articulate our needs, and fight for our fair share? And while we're talking about seats, what good is having a seat in parliament if when it matters, your representative walks out of parliament? Representation means that we have to be present. And do you want a representative that occupies your community center for himself? Or representation that occupies a seat at the table where decisions are made for you? You cannot fight for people from outside of the room. You cannot influence the decision if you repeatedly remove yourself from the table. So who has the government that is behind them with the capacity to turn plans into action? I am asking you to put your confidence in me. I am asking the Labour supporters who have always stood with this party, come home and come out. And I am asking those of you who may have been discouraged to look again at what is at stake and what we can build together. And I am asking the undecided voter to judge me for yourself. But importantly, Those of you on the other side, you are all welcome home. Labour! Gutter Village, I am not asking you to vote for perfection. I am asking you to vote for progress, partnership, and possibility. I am asking you to give a new generation of leadership an opportunity to serve. I am asking you to support a woman who will work, a woman who will listen, a woman who will speak, and a woman who will advocate. And a woman who will not forget the conversations we have had once the election is over. On election day, I need you to come out early, bring your family, encourage your neighbor, check on the elderly person who may need assistance getting to the polls, and when you receive that ballot, I am asking you to place your support behind the Dominica Labour Party, because the talking stage has come to an end. And now we must move conversation to confidence, from listening to believing, from believing to voting, and after voting, from promises to delivery. Gutter Village, Rosa North, let us move forward. Let us ensure that the major investments taking place across our country translate into opportunities for our communities in the Rosa North constituency. Let us make sure that Gutter Village is part of Dominica's next chapter of development. And let us build a Rosa North where your address never determines the opportunities that are available to you or your children. I am ready to work. I am ready to serve. I am ready to deliver. And with your support, Ashma will deliver. Vote Ashma McDougall. Vote the Dominica Labour Party. Vote for continued progress. Vote for stronger representation. And vote for a Rosa North where all shall eat. Thank you, Gutter Village. God bless you. God bless Rosa North. God bless the Dominica Labour Party. And God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica. Labour!
Labour! Yes. Ashma said, having a great pal rep matters, brothers and sisters. Having a great pal rep matters, brothers and sisters. But having a great leader is crucial, brothers and sisters. Having vision is critical, brothers and sisters. Because if you are a good pal rep in a bad team, that is disaster, brothers and sisters. Having experience is essential, brothers and sisters. Yes. That is God's all about it. Thank you, Gota Lapo Kabuit. Put your hands together for Gota Lapo Kabuit. So I was saying, having vision is critical. Having experience is essential, brothers and sisters. So if it is not broken, do not fix it. If the television working, leave it. If the radio playing, leave it. If the fridge freezing, if the oven baking, if the house not leaking. So if you have a leader who is working, and that is why I want you to put your hands together and welcome to the microphone the best political leader in the history of Caribbean politics and civilization. Brothers and sisters, it is my pleasure to welcome to the microphone Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett.
No man curse. Sometimes the blessing them just look just like a curse. But who can bless? No man curse. Things getting nice. They pray to see me fall, but they lie. Every day they sit and wonder why. No matter what they try, even though they're from behind. True, they will never see me backslide. The guide or the theory. Come together with the evil, see they congregate. They pray. They're seeking dirty grade. What? No matter what they do, I'm gonna.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Let me greet my friends in Gotta Village. It is a very wonderful community. And I have many friends here in Gotta Village. I remember in 1999 when we started the campaign as the Dominican Labour Party, there were several people from Gotta Village who were the backbone of not only the Rosa North constituency, but the party from a national standpoint. But I remember two very senior citizens in particular in Gotta Village, Gladys and also Mrs. Hamilton. These were two people who really stood as seniors and they really worked in representing the party's interests in Gotta Village. And between them, they had their children and grandchildren, and there's so many people there in Gotta Village. This is why I believe it was so important for the party to be here in Gotta Village to pay homage to you and your contribution to the Dominican Labour Party and to the country as a whole. And so I want to say good night to all of you here present, our candidate and my colleagues who are here, and to all the wonderful people of Rosa North. My message to you tonight is very simple. You have a choice to make on September 7th. For those of you who are voters in the Rosa North constituency, we can come here and tell you everything that you wish to hear, and we can tell you, you can tell us many things that you hoped we have said to you. But ultimately, the choice is yours. And in life, it matters really not where you have started. It matters where you will end. And so I want to say to the backbone of the Dominican Labour Party in Rosa North and in Gotta Village in particular, that this is your moment in time to stand forth and truly represent a party that has been good to this country for a very long time. And to ensure that all of your hard work over the years, that you now have an opportunity to elect someone who will represent your interests in Parliament and in the government of Dominica. And I want to say to the young people that that which you want for yourself must start with choices that you make on September 7th. You cannot want to sit out in the campaign or vote the wrong choice and expect things to get better for you tomorrow. And so my sincere advice to you is to come out and vote, but importantly, vote for the better candidate that is available for this by-election. And I want to say to those who have never supported the Dominican Labour Party. As far as we are concerned, that doesn't matter anymore. You have an opportunity to show to yourself and to your family that yes, you voted for the Workers' Party, elections gone, but these are different times. These are times when you have a more sober opportunity to make the right decision about the welfare and well-being of Dominica. Because the reality is the Workers' Party has let you down. They have disappointed you. You invested all your years in them. You spent the money that you never had in them. You followed them. You fought for them. You cursed for them. And they have always abandoned you. And see where the Workers' Party is today. A party that is disintegrating, that is void of leadership at all levels, has no plan for Dominica. And so you have never had a simpler choice to make in the history of politics in Roseneuf. The choice couldn't be so clear and so easy to make on September 7th. That is to vote for Ashton McDougall and the Dominica Labour Party. And I have people from across Dominica who calls me and who messages me and tell me, "Scared, why are you wasting your time in Roseneuf campaigning for? Why are you wasting money for? You have 18 seats in government. You don't need Roseneuf to form the government. Why don't you stay at your home and rest and sleep? We hear your voice, sometimes your voice is going." But I have said to them, and I will say to you tonight, that Roseneuf is as important as Vickers. It is as important as Granby. It is as important as Portsmouth to the Dominican Labour Party. Because you have a constituency of hard-working people. People who will do what they have to do for themselves and by themselves if necessary. And if they get help, thank God. If they don't get help, they press on. But what you have not had in a very long time in Roseneuf is a committed, reliable parliamentary representative. Because if you do not have someone at the table to advocate for you and to advocate for your children and your families and your community, you will miss out. And this is what has happened to you over the years. This is why it doesn't matter who you voted in 2019, who you voted in 2022, and before that, it matters who you vote on September 7th. Because our grandparents always told us, how you make your bed, that is how you will sleep on it. And so, we have done a number of things in Roseneuf, even if you didn't have a proper representative. We've touched the lives of many people, things that we don't talk about on a daily basis. Things that you will not see physically. And I believe that we can do way more for the people of Roseneuf. Because you deserve every help in your communities. You deserve every help you need for your families. And so we want to ensure that you have a representative that you can rely on. That will be there to guide your children and your young people and to guide you in navigating the challenges that you're confronting. And so, ladies and gentlemen, September 7th for you in Roseneuf is a defining moment. It is a defining moment. And so my urge to us is that we should go out in large numbers and go out and vote for Ashton McDougall and the Dominica Labour Party. If you have not realized, ladies and gentlemen, you have not really seen Danny Lugue wrong. You have not seen him around. The only person and the people you are seeing coming to visit you in this time is Ashma Dougal and the Dominican Labour Party. And though she has not been elected yet, you are seeing and feeling and sensing a difference in the communities. And even if they were to come to see you, there's nothing they can do for you. There's nothing they can do for you. Electing Danny to the Parliament of Dominica is just like you having a lazy man in the house. And the lazy man asks you for $5 and he asks you for this, he asks you for that. And which woman in anywhere in Dominica want to have a lazy man in the house? None. You need someone who can go out there and speak on your behalf, advocate for you, represent you, and bring results for the people of Roseneuf. And so I'm happy to see the interest that the voters and residents of Roseneuf have been showing in these elections. We have seen a wide cross-section of the community, young, not so young, middle-aged, senior citizen, women, men, single mothers, single men, married women, all kinds of people from Roseneuf showing an interest, showing up. And I see so many of you here in this small community here at this small meeting tonight. So many of you wanting to say to the world and to say to the rest of Dominica that you are prepared to make the right decision on September 7th. And so it is really chalk and cheese, ladies and gentlemen. And as you realize, we're not about disrespecting anybody. We're not about attacking anybody. We are simply here to say to you in Roseneuf that place your trust and confidence in Ashma Dougal and the Dominican Labour Party, and you will not regret it. You will not regret it, ladies and gentlemen. Because I want to see Roseneuf get a better representative. I want to see Roseneuf doing better. I want to see us improving the lives and the condition of the people of Roseneuf. There are still so many of you who need some urgent and immediate housing assistance to improve your housing condition. There are young business owners who want a little extra help to get them to the next level to sustain their businesses. There are young women who are doing little things here and there to bring additional income to take care of their children and their families. But they need somebody to be the contact, the conduit between themselves and the government. And that is what you're going to have to do on September 7th. So we're not here for no long speeches, ladies and gentlemen. I am satisfied, based on my interaction with the Roseneuf people, that you will go out on September 7th very early and do the right thing and vote for Ashma Dougal and the Dominica Labour Party. Because as the local artist says in his song, Ashma will deliver. And I will be there as the Prime Minister of this country to ensure that we deliver to the people of Roseneuf, ladies and gentlemen. And I say to people all the time, I have spoken to more Roseneuf people in the last 10 years than I have spoken to my own constituents. Because I recognize that you never had a representative, and I try to fill the gap with the time that I have. Reaching out and ensuring that we can provide, where we can, some support to the families and to the communities. And so we have to ensure that you go there and elect someone who will be your parliamentary representative. And you know, we just passed this budget. And this budget is so exciting. There's so many exciting opportunities. And so it's important that Roseneuf positions itself to benefit from those programs and projects. Because September 7th is important. And it is very important. But what is more important, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens the morning of September 8th and beyond. So September 7th is important. But what happens on the morning of September 8th and beyond is even more important. Because that is what will determine how you position Rosonoff, where Rosonoff will take itself. You have an opportunity to make that decision on the morning of September 7th. And my advice to you, to all of you who are voters in Rosonoff, is that you must not go and vote alone. You must take the entire family and everybody goes to vote at the same time. You take your grandmother, you go and help her to vote, and then you put your cross for yourself. We have to go out and vote Ash McDougall and the Dominica Labour Party. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this country has gone through many challenges. This country has gone through many trials and tribulations. But you know, you have always been able in this Rosonoff and in Dominica to rely on the Dominica Labour Party. Because the reality is, this is the only party that is serious about Dominica's future. None of these guys on the worker side are coming to help anybody. They're all looking for a job. And those who are trying to support them today is doing so because of their selfish greed. They believe that they can tell me what they want, and I must say, yes, sir, no, sir, how long, sir, how much, sir. No, nobody will ever control Roosevelt's spirit, ladies and gentlemen. Because slavery abolished many, many years ago. And no matter how much money people have, they will never treat us with disrespect in Dominica, ladies and gentlemen. Because we can have one pant, we are still a man. You can have one skirt, you are still a woman, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody will ever disrespect this country or these people as long as Prime Minister of Dominica. We have to stand in defense of our dignity and our independence, ladies and gentlemen. And you here in Rosonoff knows what dignity is. You know what is standing for your rights and defending your independence. And so, my friends, tonight, and while I'm this, I want to invite you at 5 o'clock on Saturday at the Roseau Primary School. All of us here are invited. The Goldville Primary School. The Goldville Primary School on Saturday at 5 p.m. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is late. We have work tomorrow. I'm happy to see so many of you from Rosonoff showing up and saying and sending a clear message that this time we are making the right decision and we are voting for the Dominica Labour Party and Ashma McDougall. And so let this vote be a defining moment for you. Let this vote define for you that which you want for yourself and for your family and your community. Let this vote be a clear indication that you want better for yourself. Because the only candidate that can help you get better, the only candidate that can help you do better is Ash McDougall working with the Dominica Labour Party. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing personal against Danny Lugin. But the reality is, Danny cannot give you nothing. Danny cannot do nothing for you. As a matter of fact, Danny needs a good parliamentary representative, and Ashma will be there to represent his interests, ladies and gentlemen.
Ashma with labor, the people with...
So if Danny needs a representative, what about us? So I won't be surprised if Danny himself, knowing that he can be a selfish guy, goes out and votes for Ashma on September 7th. I won't be surprised at all that he will go out and vote for Ashma, because he knows that not only Rosanaf needs a good parliamentary representative, he himself needs one. Because he can't rely on Thompson, he can't rely on the Workers' Party. They're complete and absolute waste of time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, good night to you. Thank you for coming out and showing your love and support and saying to us that we are there in full force to vote on September 7th for Ashma McDougall and the Dominica Labour Party. And let the real representation begin the morning of September 8th, and the real work of helping to improve the lives of the people of Rosanaf, the young people of Rosanaf, and addressing the issues confronting the single parents in Rosanaf begin on September 8th. So the choice is yours. I don't vote in Rosanaf. It is your choice to make. This is not a time to play any games. This is serious business, ladies and gentlemen. Serious business. Because this is not going to change the government. So you cannot go and do any protest vote and say you're going to change the government. No. This is about you. And never in a very long time, an election can be so much about you, the people of Rosanaf, than this by-election. And so God works in mysterious ways. He gives, He giveth, and He taketh away. And He has given an opportunity to elect a parliamentary representative that will take you to the next level. Good night. God bless you. Thank you so much. I love you very much.
Oh, gosh.
Labour! Labour!
We'll deliver.
We'll deliver. We'll deliver. I tell you, Ashma will deliver. We'll deliver. We'll deliver. Tonight we in Gota. Saturday night we in Funkole. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Goodwill primary on Saturday. Goodwill primary. The Labour train rolls into Goodwill primary on Saturday afternoon. Make sure you are there. Don't be late. Make it a date. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for turning out and being such a wonderful crowd. Let it go for the Gota Lapo.